wife. She said, what are you doing in there?
That was evacuate. There's nothing in it. And you don't know that. That's how you want it. Until you start drinking water, you feel yourself swelling.
Yeah.
That's how you want it, man.
Yeah.
You gotta shit.
Yeah.
If you don't shit, fuck. But if you don't fuck, shit. But if you don't shit, fuck. Yeah. It's so true.
That's a t-shirt slogan.
Yeah. Man. Absolutely. Yeah, Mike, so you're on the one meal a day as well.
Right.
Which I think for a lot of athletes, I think that's crazy. You know, and you keep all the muscle mass that you hold on to.
Listen,
you know,
it's not crazy because listen, the greatest gladiators that ever lived, they that ever lived.
Exactly.
They looked at their marrow and their bone, they were all vegetarians and vegans. And that violent sport, that vicious violent sport, these are vegan competitors.
See, I got a notion about the 1 meal a day, right? And this is what I tell people. They think it's so crazy. I'm like, look, if you're not doing it, you can't speak on it if you haven't experienced it. But this is how I see it. We live in a world where there's an abundance of food, right? This is new. I mean, our species has been around for about 100,000 years. We've been kind of civilized for around 10,000 years.
No. We've been around, the oldest human being, 4.4 million years old.
I mean, our genus of Homo sapiens. Yeah, it's a lot of humans in them. Yeah. It's funny because Sean and I and my son, we're reading the book Sapiens right now.
Oh yeah.
So it goes into that, all the different human evolution, but us, Homo sapiens, we the youngest ones, we're new, right? But most of that, a lot of that, you know, we like animals, you know? And then even being civilized, 10,000 years ago, it wasn't a lot of food. Like there's no convenience stores, there's no. Yeah. So we would go days without eating. And then when you're hungry, you go hunt. You go find food on an empty stomach, right? So here it is, we don't have to do that. Food is all around us. And like, it's a reason why there's a quote unquote hungry mind state.
Yeah.
That's literal and figurative.
I know.
You go get it when you're hungry.
Absolutely.
You don't get it. There's no full mind state. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like when I eat, I want to relax. I want to keep my feet up. You know, so to me, it's
recovery
like,
time. I
want to go out, conquer my day, train, do all the things I got to do. Around 5 or 6, I eat and I relax. My day's done, you know? So I know me, I don't operate well with a lot of food in my system.
You're not supposed to. It's the fact your body's working and it can't work when you're congested.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why you have less food. You always, for instance, when I don't have no food, I'm always ready.
Yeah, me too.
There's no food, there's no fuel, but it's energy.
Yeah.
Because energy and fuel is psychological.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mike, did you eat on days that you fought?
Days I fought, yeah.
Yeah. I couldn't eat. I could never eat.
And that's the thing. You can't let your emotions and your feelings control you. You know, you say, I can't eat my body. No, you control your body. Your body's purpose only to carry your brains.
To serve you. Right.
Your body can't tell you what to do.
Right.
Brain is the top thing. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I get that though, man. And I think I've heard you say that many times, Mike, about the hungry mindset. You know, you're not hungry when you're full of food. Yeah. You know,
so there's no sense of urgency to go out and do anything.
Absolutely.
And you're more vulnerable because you're not as agile.
Right.
More alert.
And plus,
from the enemies.
People are conditioned to eat out of memory. Ooh, look what time it is.
Yeah, I gotta eat.
Yeah, they're hungry enough. They just, it's not a good habit.
Matter of fact, it's the FDA, right?
Yeah.
Food is a drug. It's a narcotic.
Exactly.
Yeah.
People get addicted to food and their life is over. It's the improvement in their body.
Exactly.
Most people and most businesses can shoot a video like this. You'd agree, right? But what they can't do is stuff like this. Or stuff like this. It's the little touches like this that make a video look a lot less homemade and a whole lot more professionally produced. Look at us. Which one would you keep watching? Which of us looks better? It used to be that if you wanted this level of professional quality, you'd either have to pay a professional editor or buy expensive software and spend weeks having to teach yourself how to use it. But not anymore. Videos lets you make stunning animations that are customized to your video in just a few clicks. And all you do is buy a one-time lifetime membership for $67. And then you can use hundreds of templates, effects, animations, music when I'm done.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Hey, everybody. How y'all doing today?
Doing good.
Coach Joe? What's life? My camera. No, show me.
Hey.
How y'all doing?
How's it going?
Good,
I like
good.
the mask.
I know, man. I know. I'm practicing my social distancing.
Where, Steve, I can't see you.
You can't see me?
Nah, there's something here, beautiful, Allah, or something.
All right. Hello, can you hear me? That's another one of my guests that's on the show. What's up, Teddy?
All right.
We'll,
but I don't see you.
Out. I'm gonna knock Coach Peak out. I want to challenge Coach Peak. I'm gonna hit it all in the. I'm not gonna hit it in the head. And hey, love, I love you. I love you, Coach. I love Coach Peak. I love Anna. I love all you guys. You know.
Hey, Anna, you saw my video where I was doing my shadow boxing, right?
You want to know what the first thing I thought was?
What?
That booty dough.
Oh yeah.
Hey, everybody.
Hands, Coach. You still got them hands.
Yes,
oh yeah,
yes.
You ain't gonna lose that.
He needs to know
everybody.
that
No, go ahead, Coach. You can finish. Then I'll start.
No, I was just saying, don't let this old lady fool you. Don't let this gray hair fool you, because I still got my hands. I can move.
I heard that, Coach. I heard that.
Hey, everybody. Thank you for joining me. This is my roundtable, the Gatekeepers, and I want to go ahead and start introducing everybody that's on the panel. First, I'm going to start with my brother, B Life, the formula out of San Jose, California. We hear B Life? Can you hear me or no? B Life, I can't hear you. Can't hear you. Can anybody hear him?
No.
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 B Life, try to unmute yourself if you are muted. I can't hear you. Nothing. Well, I'm gonna continue. Coach Gloria Peak, the first female to ever coach in men's Olympics, United States, out of Mount Laurel, New Jersey. Anna Carrizales.
Hi, Anna.
Did I say it right, Anna? Did I say your last name right?
You did. You did.
Out of Houston, Texas.
First female to ever box to represent the Marine Corps in the sport of boxing.
That's right. That's right.
That's right. First female boxer ever in the United States Marine Corps to ever get in the ring to represent the United States Marine Corps. Hall of Fame, a Marine Corps boxer, and he was on the 92. He was a 92 Olympic alternate for the 92 team. Teddy Randolph out of Atlanta. How you doing, Teddy?
Hey.
Out the U.S. Virgin Islands as well, representing St. Croix.
Nice. What's up, Teddy?
I don't see Teddy either. Jeez,
you don't see Teddy either?
No.
You don't see me? Gloria, I can see you, baby. You beautiful.
I can't see you, sweetie. I don't know.
You can't see me. Come on, Gloria. Great T-shirt.
And then we have all the way internationally, my international guest out of Dublin, Ireland, Coach Joseph Clifford. He's probably one of the best cut men in the world, without a doubt. How you doing, Coach?
Hey, thank you. Yeah, doing good, thanks. Good to be here.
Thanks everybody for joining me.
All right.
Let's get right into the meat and potatoes. We're talking today. Then the topic is more than titles and belts. Fighting the opponent you cannot see or you can't see. You know, it may be like for myself, that one that, you know, Coach used to always tell me, Gloria Peak was my coach as well. She used to always tell me, she would say, the only person that would beat Steve Stokes is Steve Stokes. And I couldn't understand that. So me has always been and always will be me. I'm not in competition with nobody else but myself. So that would be my opponent that I can't see. I want to start with you, Anna, because you have a really deep story. You are a survivor when it comes to, you know, being almost, you know, I mean, being hurt, you know, on your job, tour of duty. She is a police officer, public servant in the state of Texas. So, you know, could you just start off, you know, how boxing relate in your life on a day-to-day basis?
Well, first, thanks for having me back. Appreciate you having me back, brother.
No problem.
I think what you're doing is amazing. Super, super passionate about tying in my boxing history to all life's lessons in life that I've learned in my 46 years of life. So I think this is brilliant what you're doing. I'm glad that you were open to touching on these things. I don't know about the rest of y'all, but I know for me, like I mentioned at our last roundtable talk, boxing, the lessons, the philosophies, the disciplines that I learned in my boxing career, they have most certainly served me in my adult life outside of the ring. For me, the opponent that you cannot see, for me, comes in the form of post-traumatic stress injury or post-traumatic stress disorder. The way a lot of us are familiar with it is the unseen opponent that a lot of us fight. Not just me, not just police officers, first responders, not just fighters, just human beings. It's a human being thing. So for me, that's my opponent. That's the opponent that I have had to learn how to counterpunch against. Learn how they attack, learn how everything that I learned in my fight career on how to become a champion that I did become has served me in fighting this fighting this opponent outside the ring as well.
Thank you. Next up, Coach Pete.
Yes.
Can you hear me? You had to overcome a lot of adversities. I remember, you know, every time we would go to Canada to box, they would always look whenever we would come in. and they will always look like where's your other coach at? You got another coach? I'm like, nah, this is our coach. And it was funny because it used to make me want to fight harder just because I had a female coach, because I wanted to prove people wrong. I wanted to prove people wrong. I want to prove people, let people know, like, yeah, this female that's holding these pads for me, yeah, she can hold pads. But not only that, though, once I get inside the ring, I'm gonna kick your ass. And after I kick your ass, then what you gonna say about that? So I saw a lot of that. I saw the heartaches. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, Coach, how has boxing been inspiring in your life through your experiences?
It's inspired me on at least two different levels, but let me speak on the first level. The first level, on, you know, sort of boosting my determination, you know, realizing that the more people told me what I couldn't do, the more I realized I could do that and then some. It gave me, or it put me in touch with that toughness inside of me, you know, that no matter what happens, you know, don't give up, you know, because, you know, if you want to land on the moon, you have to shoot for the stars. That's the only way you're going to get there. And, you know, because I was a woman in a, you know, predominantly, well, at that time, a male driven sport, you know, I faced a lot of adversity at every turn. You know, they would tell me that, you know, there was no way I could make it to the top because, you know, I was a woman, too soft. You know, this required a male who was tough and, you know, who could help their athletes rise to the occasion. And every time I heard that, you know, that just pushed me harder in order to train like Steve, you and the other guys to make sure that I developed your skills above and beyond, you know, individuals, and that I was able to, you know, to overcome that adversity. It was very difficult because I faced it on a daily basis, you know, all the time. And, you know, it's very interesting because, you know, some of those same coaches that went on to be, you know, Olympic coaches and stuff, you know, were the main ones that gave me a lot of heartache. And then those are some of the same ones that I not only caught up to, but I surpassed, you know. And so, you know, I thank them because they helped me on my journey and they helped to strengthen me, so that I was able to do the things for you and all the other boxers that I worked with, you know, on a daily basis. And, you know, I've coached thousands of boxers, you know, and everything from beginners to elite to Olympians. So that's one aspect. Now, the other aspect is what I was able to do with boxing for the athletes. It's the most important thing to me. It means the most to me. My ability to reach the young people, to help them find their way and put them on the right path. Okay. I use boxing as one would use a shepherd's hook. I would hook the boxer in, and once I get them hooked in, okay, now I can begin to work with them. Now I can help guide them on the path where they're going to be successful in life. And that to me was more important than anything. Getting kids off the streets, out of the gangs, getting kids back in school, because education was first and foremost. One of my best tools for getting kids to go to school and to pursue their education was boxing. That's how because once I got them, oh, they were mine. And, you know, I was able to be extremely successful. So those are the two aspects to me that's extremely important. And Anna is one of them, because when I met her, you know, I didn't care what anybody said. I saw the greatness in her, and I saw what she was able to do. And, you know, I tried to make that known to her, and that I was going to be there for her and help her get her to that level.
Thank you. Thank you. I can attest and say that you are a great motivator, because there's no way in hell I would even said I was going to go into the Marine Corps. I never even thought about the Marine Corps until you remember when you used to bring those guys down? When I say guys, they were guys to me then, but they were Marines. They were Marine recruiters. They just come down to kill us every week. I'm like, man, why are you bringing them here? And then after a while, I was like, you know, I'm thinking about going to the Marine Corps.
Yep.
Marine Corps.
It's always a method to my madness.
Yeah, it was. I had no idea. Hey, thank you, Coach. This next coach I want to talk to, he's very deep in the game. He's in charge of, you know, the UFC when it comes to, you know, the cuts and the nicks and the trainings and stuff like that. So a friend of mine also that we know, Ron Sims, he was, you know, he told me about him, and I had to check him out. But his tutorials, you need to go check him out on YouTube, and I let him do that, announce that himself after I introduce him. But Coach, all the way from Dublin, Ireland, Coach Joseph Clifford. How you doing, Coach?
I'm doing good, thanks. Thanks for asking me. If I was to try to sum up what boxing has given me, I mean, it's given me a life beyond my wildest dreams in more ways than I could ever imagine. I mean, it was my father who gave me no choice when I was about 14. I came in late. That's why a good friend of ours, Ronald Sims, his story is amazing to me. Start boxing at 21, made the US national team. I joined at 14, and my father knew there and then at the age of 14 that the area itself was just where we lived. There was a heroin epidemic. And so boxing took up most of my time as an adolescent. I trained twice a day. I wasn't really mingling with the people. You know, I wasn't really in with any crowd. It gave me a sense of focus. And so I turned up and did my training twice a day. I didn't take part in what was going on in street corners. And I can say 100% that most of my friends who've made it, or those who didn't, I know that I'm here because of boxing. When I quit, then it leaves a gaping hole in your life, because you don't know where to go next. And so it was an ex-coach of mine, to get involved and do a bit of boxing, give back, share. So I got into that, and I loved it. Did it for 10 years, and then got involved in professional stuff. And then I was doing a degree at night. I went back to school when I was 34, and I was away from boxing for 4 years. And when I came back, I couldn't believe the standard of corner care that boxers were given. And I'll give you an example. It's I remember seeing a kid getting a nasty cut. It was about 1.5 inches long, and coach puts a blob of grease on top of the ring post. Kid comes and sits on the stool. Coach takes it off. Just no gloves, no nothing, just a towel, wipes the blood off and puts the grease in his eye. And I thought, you know what, those kids deserve better than that. So that's what really motivated me to put together. I do a cut course internationally, and so it's been a roaring success since 2009. It's gone global. It's gone around the block a couple of times. I can only attribute that to the people that have actually embraced it. So I got lucky. That's all I'm saying. Boxing is just has directed me in certain areas that I can now make a living at it, and I love what I do. I'm blessed. I'm truly blessed. I really am.
Yes, sir. Thank you for allowing us to have you on the show as well.
Thanks for asking.
Thank you, Coach. This next person, I know he's sitting up here and he's been looking at me. I see the steam coming out of his ears, out of his nose. You know I'm about to get ready to talk about you. We call him the Sergeant at Arms when it comes to this podcast. Nobody but Teddy Randolph. How you doing, baby?
I'm doing well. I'm just just relaxing, man. I'm looking at couple of my notes from last week. And just reflecting from last week. A couple of my notes I was looking from last week, and a couple of my picks that you asked me to pick. Um, that Gloria and Anna. I'm still raving at the picks that they picked that you asked us to pick our top. I'm still.
So
You know.
everybody. This is getting off topic, but I'm gonna let you guys know because I don't want you being ambushed. Last week I gave, like, this week I'm gonna give you one last question. Is out of the ordinary. It can be from anywhere, from politics to home and decorations. It could be anything. So my question last week was, if boxing had a draft like the NFL, MLB, or in a NBA, who would your first pick be? Past, present, or future? And it got really good. It got really good.
It really did.
It did. So, but Teddy, let's get back on course. Boxing has did a lot for each and every one of us.
It did.
How would you say it has directed you through your life experiences? How has it helped you?
It has directed me in just my focus in life in terms of discipline, what I need to do, in terms of even directed me towards the Marine Corps. When I joined the Marine Corps, I was already my parents were immigrants when they came to the United States Virgin Islands. So my mother was from Antigua, which was a British country. My father was from St. Lucia, which was a French country. My father speaks fluent French. My mother was from a British island, Antigua. They came to the U.S. Virgin Islands, St. Croix. So they got their citizenship, the U.S. citizenship from the U.S. Virgin Islands. So I was born there in the U.S. Virgin Islands. So by virtue of my birth in the U.S. Virgin Islands, where I met Livingston Bramble, who ended up beating Ray Mancini. That's who introduced me to the sport of boxing. Who I travel with people like Livingston Bramble. He ended up changing his name to Rasai Bramble, who introduced me to the sport of boxing at age 10, 11. And people like Julian Jackson, I traveled with them to Puerto Rico on the U.S. Virgin Island team to Puerto Rico to compete with the sport of boxing, to Puerto Rico and compete on that team. That's where I first got my international start in boxing as a 10, 11-year-old competing with boxing. That's how I got my start in boxing and started at 10, 11, and that's where I got my real discipline. So I really got my discipline from my parents, but to hone in discipline and discipline from the Marine Corps, I didn't need that from any streets savvy or anything like that. I got that from the Marine Corps and from parental guidance. So when I got to the Marine Corps, I was already shaped from home, and then boxing just put that in me more because the discipline of just going to the gym and training, and just when you talk about boxing, I mean, in term, I think Coach Pete touched on that even more last week when she talked about weight. If you go to sleep at 125 and she check your weight at 125 and you wake up in the morning at 126, what the hell happened? You're supposed to wake up at about 124, 123, because when you go to the longest urination you have, the longest you urinate during any time or any period during the day is in the morning. When you wake up, that's the youngest that's pretty much the longest urination that you have is in the morning period. So if you wake up at 127, you're like, wait a minute. If you wake up at, you're like, what happened? So that's the discipline that you do have. So if you wake up, you're like 127 to 128, and you went to sleep at 125, you on weight, and you wake up and you hit the scale. So the discipline that you have it taught you a lot, man. And man, you know, um, woo, Lord knows that the 7 years that I spent at 125, I should have never stayed 125 for 7 years. So right now, teaching youngsters to, how to teach them how to eat right, how to do better, and if you have to move up in weight, move up in weight. It's just a lot that I've learned now, the discipline that I've learned now, and learn to how to eat, how to train. It's that I mean, it's countless of things that I didn't know then that I know now that I could pass on to teach others. Yeah, it's so much, Steve, that man, it's countless things that you know.
Got you. Thank you, Teddy. Thank you. We have 3 people that have checked in. I do want to announce them. We have Coach Julius Pruitt out of Sacramento, California. We have a professional boxer, Musin Kaysen, out of Las Vegas by way of Baltimore, Maryland. He's from originally. And then if you guys ever seen the movie Black Panther, you probably know this dark-skinned brother at the bottom. He's one of the cast members that was on Black Panther. Adam Mako in Dubai, but he's by way of Ghana, Africa. What's going on, y'all?
What's happening, champ?
Good. I'm good. What's up, Adam? Hey, I want to move up to Be Life. Be Life. You are on the other side. Yeah, I can. I can hear you now. Thank you, brother.
Yeah. I just want to say thank you for inviting me real quick, and y'all make sure y'all visit my brother Coach Stokes at rbfpglobal.com, y'all.
My man, thank you for the free shout out. Hey, you're in the MMA scene. You box, you've done it all. You're a businessman, you're an entrepreneur. You have your own, station. How has boxing helped you in your life? How has it helped make you make different decisions? You know what I'm saying?
Man, first thing was going to what you said with Coach Peak, and I just want to say thank you for inviting me, because I didn't realize I was amongst such greatness up in here. So shout out to everybody in the room. One of the things that she was honing in on was saying that Coach Stokes is Coach Stokes' worst enemy, right? And I think that was a very key statement, because as people were socialized to be self-sabotaging, right? And that was one of the things that I saw in training with self, was like, oh man, I have to go fight this dude who's like, he's like 100 pounds greater than I am. And I got to tussle with this guy in the ring, right? So that overcoming that defeatist mentality was one thing. I think another thing though was when you start to elevate in your ranks and you start to become like a conditioning coach and stuff like that for your fighting school, when the new guys come in, I think you really start to realize how important it is to really kind of like be a person of integrity, because the young people are going to socialize themselves off of you, right? And the one thing, when you start to learn how to fight and how to move your body and how to overcome like fatigue and things like that, you walk around, you're like a giant amongst men. And so when you get around the average individual and they want to challenge you, one thing I saw that it humbled me a lot, because I realized, man, I could crush this dude if I really wanted to, right? And there's no need for me to do that. Let him have that upper hand. And if he touches me as somebody I love, then I could advance and do what needs to be done. Until then, man, you know what? Let me just stick to my education, economics, and let me be upstanding for these babies out here, so I could show them like, hey, man, if you form follows function. I've heard that quote before. So if you function correctly, then the form is gonna come out of that. And that's the main thing that I took from fighting, man.
Thank you, brother. Coach Pruitt, how you doing, my brother? Thank you for joining us once again.
I'm doing good. How y'all doing?
Good. Coach Julius, you work with top professional boxers and top professionals when it comes to mixed martial arts. What How has that helped you? How has boxing helped you when it comes to, you know, making decisions, you know, and those type of things when it comes to, you know, your daily living?
Well, for me, I would have to say, first and foremost, it would be to be successful, you have to do things you don't want to do. I mean, and that could be, you know, and that's normally like the boring things. It could be getting up, going to work every day. It could be getting up, doing your road work or your bag work. Because a lot of people, they just want to jump in there and hit something like, you know, spar. But the things, the calisthenics, the bag work, they don't want to do that, or they want to skip that kind of stuff. So that would be the first thing for me, just doing things you don't want to do to be successful. And then also, I mean, just in life, it's not always about you. You know,
Yes.
it's people that depend on you, that counts on you, whether that's a job, whether that's helping, you know, one of your teammates prepare for a fight if you don't have a fight coming up. You know, some people, if they don't have a fight coming up, maybe they don't want to go to the gym, or maybe they slacking. But if they got a teammate they got to fight, maybe they need to be there to give him some sparring, you know. And so it's not always about you. And you also have to, you know, get out of your comfort zone to be successful. You know, you can't just be complacent. And that's on the job. If you're looking for a promotion or a raise, if you go to work every day and do what's asked of you to do when they hired you, that's meet expectations all day long. So when it's time for a promotion or a raise, you won't get it because you have to do things outside of your job description. And you know, it's the same thing when it comes to fighting or as a trainer. You can't get complacent as a trainer. You don't want to get to where your fighter's outgrowing you. So you can't like stuck in your, you know, times change. So if you're an old school trainer, you have to evolve. So you got to get out of your comfort zone. And then also you want to learn from others that's better than you. You know, if you got a mentor, whether it's a trainer, whether it's a fighter that's better than you, or you got a boss that you look, you know, when you go to work every day, you know, my job should be, when they ask me, what do you want to be doing in 5 years? I want to take my boss's job. That should be my attitude on the job, or take his boss's, you know, job. But I shouldn't, you know, feel like I just want to be where I'm at right now. And another thing that I kind of even tell my kids is, you know, and I think this is like very important, is to advocate for yourself. You know, if you don't understand something or something don't seem right, you have to speak up. You know, if you're a fighter and a trainer asks you to do something, he should be able to give you the why, the reason why you're doing it. If he just, and it could be something he's telling you to do the right thing. But if you don't understand it as a fighter and you ask why, and if he can't explain it, something is wrong. You know, even might be right what he's telling you, but he should be able to explain why he asking you to do what it is, you know, you're doing. I mean, and it's kind of sad because you do have, you know, trainers out there that hustle fighters. You have trainers that slow play a fighter, especially if it comes to where somebody paying you. They might want to teach you, take 3 months to teach you how to throw a jab, right? So you got to keep paying them, you know. So you gotta, you know, advocate for yourself and ask why, you know. And it's kind of like Coach Pete said, and I tell people, I tell it to my kids, you should always, you know, shoot for the stars, because the bottom is already overcrowded.
That's right. That's right. That's right. I'm gonna use that one. Can I take that?
Take that.
Thanks, brother. Hey, going all the way in Dubai. How we doing over there in Dubai, Coach?
Man, it's all good, man. I'm good. It's great.
Everybody,
I would say I'm really honored to be part of this panel. It's a great opportunity for me, since I'm a young dude coming up. I mean, I've been in a lot of fights, a lot of events, and now I'm a coach here in Dubai. But for me to be on this platform, I'm really honored. For me to have all these great people here, it's a big deal for me, and I want to say a big thank you to Coach Stokes. Yeah,
my brother. Hey, Hey, I gotta roll with you, man. You from the motherlands, man. Come on, man. I'm going to Africa one day, so I had to look out. You dig what I'm saying?
You should.
Hey, hey, how has boxing shaped your life, man? I mean, you were in Ghana. You're born in Ghana, and now you're in Dubai. Have you ever thought about where your life is at now, and you ever thought you will ever be there? How has boxing helped structure that? You know, you're not just in boxing, but you're in Muay Thai. You're in numerous amount of martial arts.
So basically, I don't know if any of you have been in Africa, especially in Ghana, from where I am from the, not exactly from the slum though, but from where I am from, you gotta struggle before you make it, all right? So boxing was a way out for most of us guys there. So it became part of us. It became our way out. It became like our visa, our ticket out of there. So we put in every effort. So, I mean, looking at my life now, I think boxing has really helped me to think outside the box. You know what I mean? Like I'm disciplined. I know how to do a lot of stuff. So like the coaches were saying earlier on, asking how you gonna work on your diet, how you want to work on your weight and stuff. Now it's a bit easier for me. So boxing itself is, I mean, apart from the fight game, if you're looking at it from a business level, it helps you know that even though things are gonna be tough, you're gonna get there. But sometimes you get in the ring, you have a game plan, and then you get in the ring and it doesn't go like the way you want it. Okay, so it doesn't go like the way you want it, and eventually you may end up winning, depending on how skillful you are, or the effort you put in during the fight. So applying that to the real life, boxing has really opened my mind a lot about the challenges in life and how to keep on pushing to get your goal. And then now I'm not only doing boxing. Now I'm teaching Muay Thai and MMA. And boxing has given me a lot of advantages with Muay Thai and MMA, because most of the striking sports, they are not really good in boxing. You get it? So let's say the Muay Thai guys and the MMA guys, they are not really good in boxing. So boxing has really given me an edge with them. So I came to Dubai not too long ago, I think 3-4 years now. But ever since I came and the boxing we do back in my country, Ghana, I've been able to change the fight scene a little bit, teaching guys the real basics of boxing. Because a lot of guys here, like the coach said earlier on, I mean, times are changing, so you need to evolve with the time. But then I think people are missing the point. People are, I mean, I don't know about the States though, but when I came here, people are too concerned about the hard work than the real boxing. You get it? So boxing from my country, from where I was taught, it taught me the real basics of boxing. So when I came here, it has really opened my mind a lot, and it has changed a lot of stuff in my life. So, well, boxing is my, it saved my life, man. Boxing is the real deal for me, trust me.
Okay, no problem. You know what? I tell everybody, boxing has saved my life, because everybody that I think about it when I put in perspective, everybody that I've met, everybody that's in this roundtable, I met through boxing. You know, Coach Julius Pruitt. I mean, I met him when my boy, any of you that I follow, mixed martial arts, King Mo. My man King Mo was like, yo, yeah, I want to put you on to my man Julius Pruitt. You know, he's the younger brother of Gerald McClellan. And I was like, oh, for real? And then we just hit it off from there. And then, I of course, Teddy Musson, I met him when we was in Vegas, but I'm just saying, you meet everybody, everything I've done has been through boxing. My life, me going to the Marine Corps, me going over to 2 wars was through boxing. You know what I'm saying? And I'm still here. So with that being said, forget all of that. But I want to talk to, he is the little big brother of former heavyweight world champion Hasim Rahman. This is Mussin Kaysen. How you doing, brother?
What's happening, chaps? Sound like I'm good, man.
Happy Ramadan Mubarak, brother.
Ramadan Kareem. Ramadan is tough out here.
I know. How has boxing shaped your life?
Oh man. You know, I'm still young in the boxing world, so I'm current. So when I first started boxing, you know, I didn't really understand myself. I didn't really know myself. But because you know, when you got to get up early in the morning to run, you know, not eat what you want to, you know, sustain yourself from certain things, you learn yourself. You learn what dog you have in you. You learn what, you know, how much reserve you have in you. And when it comes to just as far as the discipline, you know, I'll say it like, you know, I'm Muslim. So when it comes to reading Quran and things like that, you know, it's kind of different. You know, before I kind of like went off and just wasn't really learning anything about our religion. I felt like I knew everything, but because of boxing, I'm always trying to learn new things in boxing. I look at that for my religion as well. You know, it's changing my life. I'm always looking at it. What can I learn more? How can the same way I want to figure out how can I make my jab snap like Larry Holmes? How can I have my religion to the point where my conscious thought is about God? So it's changed my life in all aspects, even my food, the way I think, the way I travel, the way I eat, what I do at night, what I do in the morning. I'm always thinking, you know, especially if I have a fight of things, I know I got to go to bed at 10 o'clock, you know, to get up in the morning. I know I can't eat fat food like that, or I got to cut off chips. Chips is my chips is my addiction. I'm a fat guy in a skinny body, but chips is my addiction. But when it comes to boxing, I cut all that off. And I was never able to do that before. And I've only been boxing for 5 years now. Thank God. Wow. I've done a lot I've done a little, but a lot, I guess, to some people. But yeah, it's changed my life. And that in those disciplines, you know, I can now just say, you know, if I'm not going to do it, I'm not going to do it. I'm a married man, and I'm a young married man. And, you know, at times, you know, we all adults here, you know, your wife is in the house. She look good. She, you know, but when it's time to fight, nah, none of that. I tell my wife 4 weeks out, hey, you 4 weeks out from the fight, you ain't getting no more. And it's hard, but because of that, it has helped me shape my life in so many aspects. It's a blessing.
Thank you. Hey, I cut everybody mics on, so let's just be aware of you know what's going on. So I don't mind you guys. I'm gonna open up the floor, but I want to piggyback off of what you said, Mustin. Boxing is really, I was telling somebody the other day, man, it's a lonely sport. And when I say lonely, you know, I mean, that's why I'm still in it. You know, anything else I've ever done in my life, man, I breeze through. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? School, she'll come back on school. When it came to school, when it came to the Marine Corps, I'm saying Marine Corps was tough, man, but I did it. Boxing is something that I never could cheat. Never ever will.
Never. It's a truth serum. Yeah. It's a truth serum. Like, you know, like even with this quarantine going on, right? You know, you have boxers who are going to say, yeah, I've been training, I've been doing this, but come and get in that ring. All of that. I don't care if you say you've been running, we're gonna find that out. If you've been doing push-ups, if you strong, if you're doing anything, we're gonna figure that out. Cause I'm gonna test you when we get in in there. So.
Steve, don't mute my mic anymore. And Rockman, you could get close to
Say it again.
My bad.
Steve, don't mute my mic anymore. You can get nobody can get close to Larry Holmes' jab, bro.
Hey,
Get
you know
close.
what? That's
Nobody
bro.
nobody could duplicate that jab,
I
bro.
don't think you know
What
what's
about
crazy.
No one
I'ma
in this
respect that.
world could
I'm gonna
duplicate that jab.
respect that. I'm gonna respect
No
that and agree
one,
with
bro.
you. I just like how people say, you know, people always say, you know, man, what you trying to be the next Muhammad Ali? And I say, you know, those guys come one every millennium.
That's
and I don't
right.
think I could ever be those people. But you know what's crazy? I'm gonna try my hardest until I get out of this.
And I could say this right here. Everyone, right? I would say this right here. Everyone could be their own self. People
Right.
would say you could duplicate and you could look like this and you look like that, but be you. I would prefer them say you look like this or you duplicate this, but you are you and duplicate you and be you. Like I tell my son, if somebody say you look like so and so, but I prefer you be yourself. You understand? And not somebody else.
Yeah, but it's not a matter of being somebody else. I think that you strive for perfection, and that's what he's saying. I mean, you know, I want to jab like Larry Holmes. I want to strive for perfection. Now, whether I actually get to that point, you know, and I'm always, you know, what is developed in the end is always going to be mine. It's going to be pretty much my, you know, my technique, my form. Yet you've got to be able to strive for perfection. And that's what I hear him saying. And I think that's great. That's what, you know, that's what you do. When I'm a defensive coach, I'm big on defense because when I came up and I learned it, I cut my teeth on guys. And that was a rough way to go. But there were no women out there. So in order for me to learn, I had to get in the ring with guys. I did not like getting hit. So defense became one of my biggest things. And so I perfected my defense. And I remember, you know, watching some of Pernell Whitaker's, you know, fights and movements. And I said, damn, that boy can move. He don't get hit. He be caught in the corner. That's what I got to do because I'm tired of my nose, you know, being shaped and reformed and, you know, my eyes closed up. So, you know, defense became something that that I perfected. And I tried to learn from all the great defensive, you know, boxers that came up, you know, way ahead of me and stuff, and some of the old ones. So, no, I think what he's saying is absolutely perfect, and that's what I try to get my boxers to strive for.
I was one of his first fighters.
Don't get me wrong. Oh, sorry.
No.
Don't get me wrong. I always want to be myself, but with the people who have come before me, I not only am I learning from their mistakes, but they, like they said, like Coach P said, they had the perfect something. And if I can take each thing from them and make it into my own, then I still become myself, but I've taken it from him. Like Muhammad Ali, I take that cockiness, I take that will to just be himself, no matter what's going on. I take that from him. When it comes to Pernell Whitaker, that's my man. You know, I love his defense. Larry Holmes, his jab. When it comes to power, I'm trying to be like my brother, but they all had faults. I'm not trying to have their faults. I'm trying to have their best attributes and turn it into myself. So I will always be myself. But because, like you said, you always learn from people's mistakes and you learn from people's achievements. That's how we get to become ourselves and also learn. You know,
it's about being inspired in your heart.
Oh yeah,
by the greats that came before us. If we didn't do that, if we weren't inspired by them, if we didn't take lessons from them that they've given us, then what was it all for?
Yeah.
They were great because they inspired the masses by their actions, with their talent, with their discipline, with their ability to fight through adversity in the ring in some of the biggest, most difficult wars that they ever faced. That inspires people to want to
Hey,
I
but
took-
hey, no, Teddy, I gotta calm you down a little bit. I gotta calm
no,
you down. A little bit. You about
I'm
to
not.
take over.
I'm
Hold on.
silent, brother.
Hey, no. I wanna ask my brother, Coach Joe Clifford. But before I do that, though, I will make this comment. You have to have some type of arrogance about you if you're gonna be a fighter. You have to. You know what I'm saying? When you get in there, it's like you gotta. We are doing things that you like. I talk to my sons, man, and yeah, exactly. And he don't understand that. He couldn't understand that shit when, excuse my language, when we first got in there. It's like, man, like you gotta go in there and take him out, or he gonna take you out. And he's looking at me like, Daddy, this is what I gotta do. That's what you gotta do. Now he understands that. He understands that now. And that's a fraternity that nobody else can understand. That's something that, you know what I'm saying, only a fighter can understand. So with that being said, Coach Joe Clifford, I want to hear what your opinion on that from Ireland. I want to hear what you got to say when it comes to that. You know, I mean, you've been around a lot of things.
Yeah. 1988 changed a lot of things for us. I mean, in boxing, I mean, there were random kids that would make it in athletic boxing, amateur boxing, into almost medal positions, quarterfinal positions, but they'd always flunk it. And for us, we changed the whole language and philosophy of boxing. And so we removed the word winning. We don't put it in there. It's nothing to do with a performance. We use performance as the cornerstone for developing fighters. And same with language. We don't use big day. We don't use, you have to win, all pressure words, anything like that. What we try to do is get the kids to enjoy what they're doing and have fun, because it's hard. It's really hard. When you're out on the road at 5 a.m. in the morning running, it's hard. That's self-efficacy. You get out of bed, you're running, you're out there. Some of it has to be pleasurable. So the time when you hook up with your teammates and stuff, it's good that you have this. Boxers are always competitive, but you need people in place that will direct you and guide you and give you the information you need to succeed. And what changed us was having one of the Cuban coaches came over to us and spent some time with us. And he changed their philosophy, because what he did was exposed us to the Cubans and to the Russians. He brought us over, Nicholas Cruz. When we got over there, we seen that they bled like we did, but we took notes and we got beat up a lot. We got beat up a hell of a lot, but we took lots of notes. And it wasn't about how they box. It was more about performance and how we boxed. And so we pieced it together, and we had a guy called Gary Keegan come in and work with us. And from that, then we got in a Georgian coach called Zorantia. And now the US boxing coach that's with you now, Billy Walsh, he's over there working with you guys now at the moment. Him and Zor paired up, and it was the perfect combination because Billy's a great man manager. So for us, like we don't look at the outcome, we look at the journey. And what we try to do is piece it together and remove the pressure from the kids that are actually in camps working with us, because we've got those structures now in place all the way up. And we've medaled. We've come out of nowhere from 1988, 1992, et cetera, et cetera. Now, we've won our two really good world champions in the past. Bernard Dunn, you remember that fight with Cordoba? Bernard Dunn was the epitome of that high performance. He was one of those guys that came out of that high performance model. But Bernard was extremely special. And as Mushan, is it Mushin or Mushan?
Mushin.
Excuse me. And as you said, like it's all about personality has a lot to do with it. Confidence and ego has a lot to do with it. But there's a fine line between ego and self-inflated ego, right, where you're more than you think you are. Right. And that's where you have good coaches who will man manage you or woman manage you and direct you in the right place. Exactly.
Hubris.
Hubris. And put you in the right place. And so some fighters, when they arrive, you know what they're like. They think they're entitled to medals and first place and blah, blah, blah. And they don't know, they don't want to put the work in. And so what you got to do is you got to break it down for them and give them something that they can use. Constructive. So we've done all that constructive stuff. We don't do the winning bits anymore. We don't focus on that really. And that may sound contradictory, but it's had an absolute massive impact on the way we box. And we brought in that whole Russian technical system of boxing And like I said, we've had to import the goods over here to get the boxing talent, or to get the boxing knowledge, really. You know, the US have that talent. They've talent. You go right back to Jack Johnson and you look at the talent. You're talking about repetitive cycles in boxing where you learn from peers. Jack Johnson, Parry. Nobody did it before Jack Johnson. And not now. Then you see the evolved version of that. You see Floyd Mayweather. You look at Sugar Ray Robinson. You look at all the greats that came through, and they've each taken a piece of what was, and they've developed it and evolved it into what it is today. It's amazing. And there's nothing wrong with taking bits from fighters, but and I agree with you all. You got to be yourself when you're in there. You got to be yourself when you're in there, because what works for those, they were skilled masters and stuff. But no, that's it. We've changed our philosophy on how to win. We don't do winning anymore. We just look at performances when boxing.
Coach Joe, Conor McGregor must didn't get that memo, because he's not under those guidelines, is he?
You know, Coach Stokes. Come on, he's a businessman. He's selling himself.
No, I know he is.
Hey, Steve.
He's not.
Steven.
Oh, Steven, right? Okay.
Steve.
Yes.
I don't mean to sound arrogant, but I was part of a stable back in '87, right? In high school. When I was in high school, I had a stable called Main Events. A gentleman, God bless his soul, by the name of Lou Duva, had a stable with a guy, a stable named Main Events. People remember the names like Benny Pazienza, Johnny Bump City Bumpers, Meldrick Taylor, Pernell Whitaker, Meldrick Taylor, Evander Holyfield. Well, they all came to Houston, Texas to train at a gym where I trained out of. Luduva used to pay me $20 a round as a 125-pound Golden Glove fighter to spar with people like Pernell Whitaker, who used to beat my ass every day. I mean, beat my ass like a Hebrew slave. And he just won the gold medal. And I felt like a prized possession. And him and Meldrick Taylor rotated on my ass. Meldrick Taylor at 125, gold medalist, and Meldrick Taylor at 132. But I got better, and I wasn't ranked at all. Just came from the Virgin Islands, moved to the United States of America, and I got ranked number 7 in the United States as a high school student in the United States of America, just by sparring with those two and making $20 a round. Imagine at the end of the week what kind of money I was bringing home. So and training in a stable with Johnny Bump City Bumpers from Tennessee, in a gym with Evander Holyfield, Meldrick Taylor, Johnny Bump City Bumpers, Orlando Canizales. You understand? So this was a stable full of fighters that knew how to fight. You understand? So these are stables of guys that I learned discipline from before I joined the Marine Corps. You understand? Yeah. When I joined the Marine Corps, people like Leon Spinks had already established in the Marine Corps, had already won gold medals for the Marine Corps when I joined the Marine Corps. So already disciplined serving in the United States of America. Steve, you know that.
Yep.
So you know, this is nothing new.
Yeah. Hey guys, we got 3 minutes left, and I want to go ahead and give you guys last question. All right, last question, and that last question is this: if they make a movie about your life, who would you give your blessing to play you? So I'm going around to each and every one of you. Think about it. Think about it. I'm gonna start everybody off. I'm gonna go first. And you know what? I said this to my wife because I was watching something crazy the other night. I forgot what it was, and I was like, I'm gonna ask that question. But
play me.
I said who would play me? And I was going through all these actors and everybody, and I'm like, nah, yeah, no. Oh yeah, I was watching I was watching the Tiger Guy. The man,
Tiger King.
The Tiger King. Yeah.
Tiger King made you
I
think
was out
about.
there. I was way out there if I had to bring the thing of that shit. Excuse me. So I thought about this. So who would play me? The best person to play me, I would say, would be my youngest son. My youngest son.
Richard T. Jones can play Teddy.
Who?
You know what, man? You know what, dude? You need to watch your mouth. Watch your mouth, boy. Watch your mouth. Watch your mouth.
We'll start with Be Life. Who would play you?
Man, you took my answer, man. I was gonna say my son, because that boy, I don't know. Some of the things I want to say, it come from his mama's side of the family, but I can't honestly I can't say that about him. It'd have to be my son. That's the only dude I know of that could probably capture me. He in the room right now, so I keep looking to the side to make sure he's doing his homework.
Right. I said it because look how Ice Cube's son portrayed him in Straight Outta Compton. You know what I'm saying? So hey, Coach Peak, who would play you?
Oh wow. Oh, wow. I don't know. That's really tough. You're gonna have to come back around to me because I got to give that some thought, especially based on some of my past history. It's got to be somebody who liked to fight. So I'm not sure.
I got a person for everybody.
Okay, Mustard. who would you want to play you?
Man, I'm still young, so honestly, I have.
You're still young.
Lupe Fiasco.
I'm still young. I don't know. Everybody always say, even though I don't like his acting, everybody always say, I look like Michael B. Jordan. So I guess we'll take him.
He's A-list. So yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
I can see
Coach
that.
Pete, you can get Viola Davis to play you.
Oh, that's
Oh yeah, Viola Davis. Viola Davis for sure.
Wow, Mother, you good, man? You good?
Listen, I'm trying.
Coach Clifford, who would you want to play you?
You know what? I had to have a good think about that when you said it, but I'm just thinking of my brother. My brother has intellectual disabilities, physical and intellectual disability, and he's a fighter, and I mean that he struggles in his own way in his own world and does his thing. Something. He lives. We've been together since he was kids. We're very close. We slept with a typical Irish family. We slept in the same bed for 11 years with cousins and stuff like that. That's the way he was the bottle warmer. He used to heat the bed up. We throw him in first. And so I know, like everywhere I go, any part of the journey that I have today, I'm forever grateful that I can share it with him. And I know if given half the chance, I know he would definitely. He'd step not only into my shoes, into any of your shoes to have a shot of life and all. And that for me is enough to get grateful on a day-to-day basis, to be honest with you.
Yes, outstanding. Outstanding. My sister Ann, who would you give your blessing to play you?
Michelle Rodriguez.
Wow. Yeah, hey, Michelle could do you.
Yes, she could. Yes, she could, because she's already been in a box. I just thought about how that sounded.
Nah,
she's already been in
a loop. I was like,
she's already done a fight movie, and I just feel like the way she carries herself in some of the roles that I've seen her in, I think she could do it.
Okay.
Especially when you talk about, my Marine Corps background, my boxing, my law enforcement career, the fact that I feel when I look at her, when I watch her in a lot of the roles she's been in, she's very much a woman, but she's hard and she's strong and she still captures she captures that toughness, but she's still a beautiful woman. And I like to think that is how that's how I look at myself. I'm tough. I'm hard as nails. and in order to put me out of the game, you're gonna have to put me out. But I still am very much a woman, and I love being a woman, and I think she captures that. So I'd say Michelle Rodriguez.
Yes.
Outstanding. Outstanding.
Good
Yeah.
selection. Good selection.
Thank you, Coach.
Coach Julius, who would you want to play you?
And even though he older than me, but he just, you know, he comical, and people that know me, I'm pretty funny. You know, I just kind of remember when my brother made it to the finals of Milwaukee Golden Gloves, and he was an open fighter. He had probably like 14, 15 fights, and the guy he was matched up with had like close to 40 fights. And I remember a friend of his saying, "Man, you sure you want to take that fight? You know, he got almost 20 fights more than you." And then I just remember my uncle telling him, he was like, "Sometimes you got to walk through hell with gasoline drawers on to get where you."
Tonga McLean, Milwaukee. Tonga McLean, Milwaukee.
I didn't hear you. You cut off towards the end.
No, I just said, you know, he had made the statement to my brother. He said, "Sometimes walk through hell with gasoline drawers on to get where you're trying to go." And I just said, funny, and I just never forgot that.
Yeah. That's a deep.
Tonga McLean, Racine, Milwaukee. Tonga McLean, Golden Glove champion.
Coach Adam in Dubai, brother. Who would you want to play you?
Well, I think mine would be Michael J. White. I don't know whether you know J. White.
Michael J. White, okay.
J. White, because I'm an all-round fighter. I did boxing, Muay Thai, MMA, so he fits my role really well. And yeah, I mean, he's hardworking, so yeah.
Hey, you ain't pick no sucker or nothing like that, you know what I'm saying? So you picked it hard, for real. Did I get everybody? Teddy, did I get you? Did you already
No,
say?
you did not. No, you did not. No, you
Teddy,
did not.
Teddy,
we're still waiting on Coach Peak, man.
I was gonna say Wesley Snipes, but I said nah. My son Teddy Randolph. No, I can't pick Wesley Snipes. Teddy Randolph, my son, he's a Marine too. I know he fit me well.
You about 10 shades too light for Wesley Snipes.
Right. You're exactly right. You're right, my brother. You are exactly right. You're exactly right. So Teddy Randolph, he's a Marine as well. He's been through the same trials and tribulations. Hoorah. My son will play me well. He know me.
Coach Peak, you gotta end it out. Who will play you? I know somebody said Viola Davis.
Viola Davis will play you well, Coach Peak.
Who would you want to play you?
Viola?
Clarissa Shields.
Wow. Oh, good one. She a shade too light. She a shade too light. She's a shade too light.
Clarissa Shields, because if I had been able to fight in my day when I was her age,
you would be her.
That's exactly what I look. I'd be tearing people out the frame because I love to fight.
With better respect, though.
And when she would get in the ring, when she was just like, you know, she just was a whole different animal. She turned into something totally different, you know, and you could see the love that she had for it, but at the same time, you know, that viciousness and determination, and you know, the only person coming out of this is as a winner is me. That's where I'm at.
Wow. That was dope.
Hey, Clarissa Shields, that's homegirl from Flint, Michigan, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I just recently learned about her. I watched a couple of her fights, and Layla Ali was talking bad about her. I don't know what the beef is, but I think the girl is immaculate.
Yeah.
Layla better stay in retirement.
Layla needs to stay in her lane.
Yes.
And
Yes.
Layla back in the day, but not Layla now.
No, no,
Yo, I don't even think Layla back in the day would be.
no, I agree.
No. No.
I
True.
I
I
don't.
know who beating all of them.
Wolf.
Still. And Wolf.
And Wolf.
Oh, yes.
And Wolf dogging all of them out.
Yeah, boy.
And Wolf, listen, I remember when I first started boxing, I had to spar. Thank God I've been in the ring with multiple champions in multiple divisions. But I remember I was in Top Rank one day, and I'm sparring this guy, and my brother was like, yeah, you think you're ready for everybody? He said, but I get a woman to beat your ass. And I was like, man, and I'm, me being all arrogant, like, nah, it ain't nobody gonna beat me. He was like, Ann Wolf would knock you out. She fight like a man.
Ann Wolf can't beat Clarissa Shields, bro.
I ain't understand that.
I was on the
now.
board of directors trying to approve Ann Wolf to fight. Ann Wolf can't beat Clarissa Shields, bro. I'm telling you. I was on the board of directors trying to approve Clarissa Ann Wolf to fight. Ann Wolf can't beat Clarissa
Ann Wolf was a bad woman.
She was, but she can't beat Clarissa
When she was
Shields.
younger.
Yeah, when she was younger. Boxing is a young man's sport, so or a young woman's sport as well. So you have your time and you got to get out.
Yeah.
All over again.
Yeah. Everybody, hey, we're about to do the roundup. I just want you to go around, give your social media handle so everybody can know where to follow you at. I'll start off first. Hey, Coach Stokes, you can follow me on Instagram, Stokes_boxing, and follow me on my YouTube page, Coach S as in Steve Stokes. Also, hit the like button, subscribe, so we can get more people to view this. And don't be scared. Go ahead and give some constructive criticism, because if not, if I don't like it, my wife gonna get at you. All right. Be Life, go ahead.
Y'all can find me on Instagram at Northgate_BeLife the Formula. On Twitter, you can find me as BeLife the Formula. And on TikTok is BeLife the Formula. And if y'all click the link in my bios on all of those, you can reach my show on Monday at 8:00 PST called The Night Watch. And we do give a shout out to Coach Stokes and Diesel and Sterling Stokes, 2 national champions. All right, y'all.
Hey, I also want to let you guys know, if you want to do some free publicity, I will wear your t-shirt. No, for real, but I'm going to make this right here. I'm going to cover this all shirt. So whoever send me their t-shirt, if you want to, that's anybody outside too. Let me know. Send it to me. I'll put it up back there. Hey,
man.
What size you wear?
I wear a large.
A medium?
Steve, it's all right, man, but I don't need nobody to follow me. I'm not Jesus. I follow Jesus. I don't need nobody to follow me. I don't need nobody to follow me. I'm not Jesus. I follow the Lord Jesus Christ, our Lord God. I follow him. So I don't need nobody to follow me. Lord, hey, Steve, I follow. Listen.
You talking about the same guy that was jumping rope with his side piece on the other day?
That's right. That's right. To keep all y'all away. That's right. Keep all you hoodlums out of my house.
Coach Pete. How can we follow you?
Okay, you can follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, and you can follow me by typing in Coach Gloria Peak. Okay, and all lower caps, and to either Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube.
Roger that, Coach. Coach Clifford.
Hey, Steve, I was doing that so they could follow you, brother. That was a prop.
Oh, I ain't get that. I missed that alley-oop on that one. Coach Clifford.
Yeah.
How can we follow you, brother?
Instagram, Facebook page. It's the same one, Minute Medicine Man. That's it.
Minuteman Medicine.
Minute Medicine Man.
Minute Medicine Man. Coach Julius Pruitt.
Follow me on Instagram at JP_boxing_815. And what Coach Peak said, when she was saying, strive for perfection. I would say the same thing, because if you strive for perfection, we know that's not obtainable. But if you fall short, you're gonna reach excellence.
Very good. Yes.
My sister Anna Carrizales.
Yes, I am on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. If you know how to, if you get the spelling of my last name right, you should always be able to find me. On Twitter, I'm at Ann_Carrizales, and the spelling is Carrizales. On Facebook, it's Officer Ann Carrizales. So if you just type any of that combination in, you'll find me. Easy to find on social media. You can also follow the hashtag You Go, I Go. You Go, I Go. It's my mantra. It's my creed. It's what I live by. And if you track that hashtag, you will always be able to see what I'm up to.
Thank you, sis. Coach Mike.
So you can follow me on Instagram. My name is Nana NANA_K Cage. KAGE. All right. So Nana_K_Cage. Yeah.
Nana_Cage. We got that. Everything that that you guys are saying will be at the bottom, so they can see it as well. And last but not least, my man Musson. How can they find you?
You can follow me on Instagram, Musson_Kaysen. My YouTube is Kaysen Point. That's my last name and Point. And of course on Facebook, Musson Kaysen. You can follow my journey. You know, hopefully about 2 to 3 years, I will become world champion. So follow my journey.
You proclaimed it. It's gonna be.
Yes.
I'm gonna work hard for it too.
You will.
I'm gonna be looking up your fights too, brother, man. I wish success and good fortune for you, man.
Thank you, sir. I really appreciate it.
Oh,
And I'm gonna blow this video up out of the frame when you do.
Oh, my man.
Thank you. This is Coach Stokes, and we out.
Thank you.
Hey, thank you, everybody. Thank you so much. I stop. Thank you.
No
Everybody
problem.
go follow our Coach Clifford. When you talking about when it comes to training, when it comes to cuts, everything, he's really, really good. Hey, I think you should speak with him, JP. He's really, really good, man, when it comes to when it comes to cut and showing how to wrap your hands, man. He showed me it's the trick that he does that I'm doing. I ain't never going back. You gotta go watch the tutorial though in order to find that trick out though.
I did want to say to what is that, Coach Mick?
Mike, yeah.
Mike Mick.
Yeah.
Man, I was really feeling what you said. You got me in my feels when you said I was watching you. You know, I watch everybody when they're talking, but I was watching you, and when you said boxing saved my life, I was feeling that. I can feel. I can completely relate to that, and I was really feeling that, and I just feel like Stephen, you might want to tap into that right there sometime, because that I feel like you have an incredible story. I'd love to hear it.
Well, you guys, you did read the text message that I did send. This is just going to be a follow-up because I would like to get all of you guys to. I'm going to be doing Coach Clifford. Well, Coach Clifford, I would like to get an interview with you after this, sometime, so we can go more deep when it comes to your schedule. I know you're a busy man when it comes to boxing and everything like that.
Just offer him a beer, Stephen. That's how you have to deal with those guys in Ireland.
Hey, when I went to Ireland, when I went to my first international duel, hey, there were little kids that had beers. I was like, you see this? And smoking cigarettes.
I just really had a good time listening to everybody. I feel like there's some pretty amazing human beings that were sitting in here today, and I can't wait to hear everybody's backstory, because I know that they're there. Some of the most amazing fighters to ever step foot in the ring, they were fighting well before they got in there. So that's what I like to hear, those stories. So I look forward to it.
Definitely. Thank you, everybody.
Take care, y'all.
Take care, everybody.
All right, guys.
Bye, Coach.
Bye, baby.